right.
Let's move over to the power rankings. This is that monumental moment where we get to rank the teams based on their worth.
Yeah,
It's
I
lots
love
of
it.
fun.
This is actually becoming one of my favorite ones because
Me as well.
I like to see where they're increasing, where they're decreasing.
Yes.
But let's get into it. Any
let's
honorable
start-
mention?
Yeah, I have two of them. I got two honorable mentions right now. The first honorable mention is the Seattle Mariners. I think that they were an honorable mention for us last week.
Yeah.
They still haven't done enough for me to convince me to put them on there. Robbie Ray's got to be a little bit better. They're 12-10. I mean, Ty France is absolutely incredible right now. He's doing amazing. But other than that, we're kind of just like skating by, just a little bit over 500 ball. You do a little bit more, maybe you squeak into the 10 or 9 spot. Another honorable mention, the Minnesota Twins. They have not convinced me enough, but they are 13-9.
They are.
They are 13-9.
Byron Buxton, dude. Oh my God.
I'm aware. He's pretty
incredible.
good. He's pretty good at baseball, dude.
But I
He's
don't
pretty good.
believe that team. Like
I
when you
just
look at it on
don't believe
paper,
it yet.
I just don't believe it.
I don't believe it yet.
Good offense.
And when you look at the competition, there's a lot of really good teams in baseball right now.
There is.
And there's a lot of really bad teams in baseball. And there's just a few teams here where it's like, I can't knock you out based on what the Twins are doing. It just hasn't been that convincing. So those are the honorable mentions. But coming in at number 10, we have the St. Louis Cardinals. 12-9. They were the number 10 spot last week.
They were, yeah. They're the exact same spot. Again, love the Cardinals. You know, you have Arenado and Fantasy. That's like the one guy.
Yeah, I've kind of put down a few different things about these teams, and the one thing I will say about the Cardinals is right now, if I had to bet money, I would probably bet money on Arenado for MVP right now. He's just been absolutely exceptional. Hit another home run today, an OPS of 1.132, a batting average.
God.
Very close to touching 400.
Wow.
He is like absolutely incredible. Defensively, a stud as well.
Yeah.
And I think their pitching is kind of overachieving expectations as well. St. Louis Cardinals, they should be a good team. Honestly, when we were looking at those betting odds, I was going to shout them out as well. I think they're plus like 2,500 right now to win the World Series. Still think that's pretty good. For
I still think it's good. I think I actually had that bet, and then it got pulled once the Ontario betting laws came in. But
pretty crazy.
I would still bet on it. I would still bet on it.
Number 9 in the power rankings. We got those Tampa Bay Rays, dude. I love to see them slowly slipping down. Slowly slipping down.
They lost 3 spots, and granted, they're just kind of doing average kind of stuff. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're on a 2-game losing streak against those Twins that were beating them up.
They're 12-10 on the year right now. Now, the one comment that I wrote for here, and I have comments about all these teams, I wrote, they are nerds.
They are nerds.
And you can't count out the nerds. They are nerds. I do expect them to win games, but they're not as convincing as we've seen in the past. And right now we're just, seeing the benefit of having a better overall on-paper lineup and better overall on-paper pitching staff than those Tampa Bay Rays. Punch the numbers all you want. If you have Tanner Roark, he's not going to do well.
He doesn't actually have Tanner Roark, but similar pitchers.
Similar like pitchers. Who we got at number 8?
Number 8, and I'm actually kind of happy they're on this list. It's the LA Angels, who are having an incredible week. They're 15-8 now. They just won their game.
Yeah, that's really good.
Right? They're 7-3 in their last 10. And it's Ohtani, it's Trout. There's a guy, what's his name? He's getting called up. He looks... Tyler Ward looks amazing.
Incredible player right now. This team is currently first in OPS. The offense is carrying them through. And if they want to continue in this, that's what they're going to have to do, guys, because we've always talked about these Angels as having very good lineup, right?
Yes.
But the rotation's not there. Well, it doesn't matter. If you're first in offense and you have Mike Trout literally leading the league in on-base, slugging, and OPS. He leads the league in all 3 of those categories. When you have that, you also have guys like Ward breaking out. You have Ohtani. You have other dudes who are doing what they need to do.
It's like,
you're fine. You're fine.
You're good.
They're number 8, 15-8, and honestly, if they continue this up, they're going to need to be pushed up those rankings as well.
100%. Number 7, we've got the San Diego Padres, who just won their game today, 15-8. They're also 7-3 in their last 10, and they're doing it all without Tatis.
That's the biggest note for me. They're good at everything right now. Like they're good. Like they're in the top 15 in pretty much every category. So they're good at everything. It's without their best player though.
Yeah.
It's without their best player. So they're kind of in that situation right now where it's like, okay, we're just pushing, we're trudging along with our team that we have. Cronenworth is doing good. Machado has been incredible. Yeah. We're going. And then when they get that big reinforcement of Fernando goddamn Tatis Jr., that lineup is like, oh my gosh, maybe we're the best lineup in baseball again. Like, it's crazy.
Also, shout out Eric Hosmer, because I think he was leading the NL in average.
Right now. I think he has the best batting average in the league right now.
382.
Yes.
Like, what? And then Machado is second at 375.
Yeah.
Messed up. Messed up.
Absolutely.
Good.
So, like, they are definitely, like, Hosmer is filling that Tatis void right now. And if they can just, like, weather the storm until they get their star player back, I think these guys are going to be major trade deadline contenders. And, like, they're going to be up here in the power rankings.
Absolutely.
Number 6 on the list. Now, we just dropped them out of it. I'm happy to see them back on here, because if I had to pick a second team, it would be these guys. It's the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yes.
We're seeing what's happening. We're seeing the numbers come around. The pitching started off slow, as it did for everybody. But now we're looking at maybe arguably the best rotation in all of baseball.
100%.
Doing what they do.
Corbin
They're
Burns.
15-8. 5th in the league in ERA. Corbin Burns has been...
Corbin Burns is godsend, man. This guy's definitely one of the best pitchers in baseball, if not trying to be that number 1 spot.
Yeah, and it's not just him, too, right? It's like that bullpen is very, very good. And we're talking about Hader as well, right? Like, don't sleep on Josh goddamn Hader. If you're in a 3-2 game, if it's close, you're not coming back. Because Josh Hader's going to come out here and he is going to dominate. I do believe that even though Jordan Romano was making a play for it, I still have Josh Hader as the best closer in all of baseball right now. He's so damn good. So they're number 6.
You got it.
Number 5 on the power rankings is the San Francisco Giants. Did they drop some? Did they come up some?
No, dude. They last 10, they're 7-3. Like, they're actually in number 1 right now. We have the Dodgers game on the back. They're gonna beat the Tigers, but they're right now currently leading the NL West, which is a slugfest. This is like a war zone in the NL West.
It is actually crazy, especially because, and they're not on this list right now, but especially because those Colorado Rockies are like showing up and winning a lot more games than people thought. I do think that's going to come around. They're going to start picking up a few more losses. But those Giants, man, I think that they have a coaching staff over there. They know how to get the best out of their players. Last year we saw it. They led the league in wins. Their pitching everybody overachieved, actually. The bullpen was incredible. The exact same thing is happening again. We took their best pitcher, I thought. Well, you know what? Screw it. We'll just make Carlos Rodon into a Cy Young candidate. Him elite. We'll just make all of our other pitchers even better. It's like these Giants somehow are just finding a way to win, and who knows? Maybe they're the new Tampa Bay Rays.
They could be. They could very well be, guys. Number 4, we have your Toronto Blue Jays.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we did drop a spot. Well, granted, we'll get it to it in a moment.
It's more about the competition ahead of us. And I will say one thing about us dropping that spot. When you look at the competition ahead of us, they're really dominant. They're showing up on the MLB like team stats. They're being like very clearly like, oh, we're top 5 and everything. We're not really right now.
No, we're not.
We're not.
No, we're not.
Like the ERA, the team ERA, it's not as good as I thought. Now, I do think it's kind of polarizing because our bad guys have been really bad.
Right.
But you look at that OPS, too, on the team. It hasn't been incredible. What we are doing is we're finding a way to win close games.
That's right.
And we're showing that we can be clutch.
Yep.
And that's not something that you're going to find on paper, but that's something that the Seattle Mariners did last year, which we desperately needed. It feels like we have unlocked that gene. If we could get that offense humming to its full potential, and if we could just have Kikuchi do a little bit better, and some of our other bullpen do a little bit better, I think that like we do deserve to be in the top 4 and potentially even higher than that.
I agree. Well, it's funny you say that we're like our offense in general baseball is doing really bad. OPS 723. You hear that, you're like, oh, that's bad. It's 5th in baseball.
Right.
It's 5th. Like somehow it's 5th in baseball. So yeah, I mean, I hope that we do get better, and honestly, baseball in general get better.
I
need some better games.
That shouldn't be 5th in baseball.
No, that shouldn't. That should be like bottom 15.
Yeah, that should be bottom 15, guys. But the Toronto Blue Jays are number 4, and you know what? Also, another thing too, we've had harsh competition. Some of these other teams haven't. We've been facing good teams, so we got to factor that in as well. And I mean, we're 15-8, so that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Number 3 on the list. I hate to say it, they've overtaken us. They're really good. It's New York Yankees, bro. I think you have their team stats there as well, man. It's pretty filthy.
Dude, okay, well, let me just read off their stats. Yeah, like we were talking about before, 3rd in OPS, 750 in baseball. Runs per game is 3rd, 476 in ERA, 2nd, 270. They're on a They're on a 9-game win streak
pretty
right
much
now.
all of the stats that you need.
Yep.
To like you've kind of covered your bases there.
Yeah, everything, which results in this 9-game win streak, and they are lightning hot. That's why they jumped 3 spots in our power rankings.
Exactly, it's just like
incredible.
You have Rizzo leading the lead in home runs. You got their other guys starting to show up and do really good, and then once you have all of these nobodies like Montgomery and Cortez and Tyone deciding to be elite, and you're having Garrett Cole bounce back. It's an impossible train to stop right now. We have to cross our fingers and pray to God that what we've seen in April is not indicative of the Yankees this whole season long. Because like we're in some big goddamn trouble if this pitching. It's the pitching staff. It's the pitching that's really actually concerning me right now. Because it's like I knew that Garrett Cole was going to bounce back. I did not expect these guys to show up and be elite. We need to get to them very soon, folks.
I agree. Well, number 2, another New York team absolutely dominating is the New York Mets, who are 15-7. A modest last 10 games, 6-4. But again, that whole team makeup, they own that number 2 spot. You know, if the Yankees keep going what they're doing, they'll definitely overtake them.
I think so. Sure. I think so. But what really factors into this for me is they're 4th in league ERA right now. They have an ERA of 2.85. They do not have the best pitcher in baseball. It's the same situation as the San Diego Padres. They should just be trying to weather the storm. But their team is so damn good, and their offense is showing up. You know, McNeil's being really nice. Lindor's being super
Lindor's
good.
Bouncing back.
Alonso's showing up, right? All of those guys are doing what they need to do. When they get that additional reinforcement, maybe the biggest reinforcement that you could argue in all of baseball, in Jacob deGrom, that's just an additional win every week that we get.
Absolutely.
We just added on one WAR every single week now.
They're scary. They're scary as hell.
Yeah. The New York teams are damn good.
They're really, really good.
Yeah.
But even scarier team, and even though the record doesn't reflect it in terms of compared to the Mets and the Yankees, it's still the LA Dodgers.
Yeah.
They're going to win this game behind us. They're going to be 14-7. And the funny thing enough, they're 3rd right now when we're making this power ranking in their division, but it's just, you can't, I'm not convinced that anyone's going to overtake them yet.
No, and I mean, like, at the end of the day, 14-7, they're doing everything that they were supposed to do. This is exactly how they were expected to begin.
Yeah.
They have the first ERA in all of baseball. It's a 2.23. That's pretty, like, Clayton Kershaw is showing why he deserved to get paid $30 million and not the 17 that he did. That was the biggest steal I think I've ever seen in free agency, maybe in my whole life. Like, that guy should not have ever been paid that. He deserves way more money, and he's showing it on the field week in and week out, and that's why they're number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys, that is our power rankings. Of course, as always, let us know what you think in the comments down below of our power rankings. Who did we get wrong? Who did we get right? Yeah, let us know, guys.
Let us know.